Hello students, in this video I am going to cover superposition and Thevenin theorem. So first of all we will see superposition theorem. Now this theorem is very much important by circuit analysis point of view, and this theorem is useful when a network contains more than one energy source. Okay, it helps us to determine voltage across a component or branch current by calculating the effect of each source individually and determining the combined effect of these sources. This superposition theorem can be used for AC as well as DC networks, but it cannot be used for calculation of power because power is proportional to square of voltage or current, that is it is non-linear equation, and the superposition is not applicable for non-linear elements, and hence we are not going to use this superposition theorem for power calculation. So this theorem, superposition theorem, is basically applied only to the linear networks or linear circuits, and the question is when we can use this theorem. So this should be used when there are two or more energy sources in the network. See here, two voltage sources are present, and hence we can easily use the superposition theorem to this network. These sources are either voltage source or current source, and the circuit should not be too complicated or too complex. At that time we can use the superposition theorem. Now we will see the statement of superposition theorem. This is a statement of the superposition theorem. On the screen the statement is given. Now for in a simple way we can state the superposition theorem as in any linear network which contains two or more sources, the current flowing through any element is equal to algebraic sum of the currents caused by individual source acting alone when the other source are inoperative. Now what do you mean by this inoperative term? At that time you are going to replace the other energy sources by their internal resistance. See here, the internal resistance is there, so you are going to replace that energy source with the internal resistance. Now if the internal resistance of any particular source is not given, then what we have to do, we are going to, at that time we are going to short circuit the voltage source and open circuit the current source if the internal resistance is not given. Why we are going to short the voltage source and open circuit the current source? Because as we know, the internal resistance of ideal voltage source and ideal current source is always 0 and infinite respectively, and hence we are going to do, or we are going to apply that concept over here, and we are going to short circuit the voltage source and open circuit the current source while doing the calculations for superposition theorem. Now we'll see explanation of superposition theorem. In this case, one network is given. That network is having two voltage sources, voltage source V1 and V2, and the three resistors are present, and we have to find out the current flowing through branch AB. Okay, so our very first step is we are going to use only single energy source at a time, and we are going to replace the other energy source with the internal resistance. But in this case the internal resistance is not given, so we are going to short circuit the other voltage source, and we are going to apply the network simplification techniques, some network simplification technique, and then we can easily find out the current flowing through branch AB for each energy source by acting each energy source alone. So here the step 1 is, right now we are going to apply only single energy source V1. First energy source is V1, and we are going to find out the current flowing through branch AB. So we are going to obtain this IAB due to source V1 acting alone by using network simplification technique, and after that we are going to do the same procedure by acting V2 alone. Okay, at that time I am going to short circuit the voltage source V1, and I am going to find out IAB due to source V2 alone. Okay, so after getting both the currents and by according to the superposition theorem, the total current IAB will be now IAB due to V1 plus IAB due to V2, because our superposition theorem states that the total current will be the algebraic sum of the currents caused by individual sources acting alone, and hence this is our equation. By getting this IAB due to V1 and IAB due to V2, we can find out the total current flowing through branch AB. Now we will see the one numerical. See, these are the steps as we have discussed above. So now we are going to see one numerical. In that numerical, you have to find out the current flowing through 10 ohm resistance and by using superposition theorem. So in this case, the two voltage sources are present. Voltage source 4 volt and 6 volt. Okay, so we have to find out the current flowing through this 10 ohm resistance. So our very first step is we are going to apply any one voltage source, and as the internal resistance is not given, we are going to short circuit the other voltage source at that time. So first of all, I am going to consider 4 volt source. Okay, so as I am considering 4 volt source, I am going to short circuit the 6 volt source. Okay, after short circuiting the 6 volt source, the very first step is I am going to assign the current which is flowing through this branch AB, or which is flowing through this 10 ohm resistance. So it is in downward direction, and with IAB dash, I'm going to name that current as IAB dash. Okay, so this is the current flowing through 10 ohm. Now as I have to find out this IAB dash, so first of all, I'm going to apply some network simplification techniques. So what can I do? Here, from this 4 volt source, the total current is flowing through 2 ohm resistance, and at this point the current gets distributed in two parts. The first part is flowing through 3 ohm, and other current will flow through this 10 ohm. We know this other current, which is nothing but IAB dash. Okay, so as the current gets distributed over 3 ohm and 10 ohm resistance, we can easily apply the current division rule over here. To get the current division rule, to get the current from current division rule, we have to first of all find out total current flowing through this circuit. So how we'll get total current flowing through this circuit? By doing all the series parallel combinations. We are first of all going to find out R equivalent resistance, and that is nothing but R equivalent, and then by applying Ohm's law, we are going to find out total current flowing through the circuit. So here this 3 ohm is in parallel with 10 ohm, so I am getting the equivalent resistance from that, and this equivalent resistance is in series with 2 ohm. So this will be the total resistance in the circuit. So IT is equal to, by applying Ohm's law, it is 4 upon 2 plus 2.3077. So the total current is now 0.92857 ampere. Now according to current division rule, as 3 ohm is in parallel with 10 ohm, see here, this 3 ohm is in parallel with 10 ohm. So whenever I want to find out the current flowing through this 10 ohm, according to current division rule, it is the total current flowing through the circuit, IT, multiplied by the resistance of other parallel branch resistance divided by sum of the two resistances. So here it is IT multiplied by 3 upon 3 plus 10. Now I got the value of IAB dash. IAB dash is 0.21428 ampere, and we have already decided the direction for IAB dash, it is downward. Now I am going to consider 6 volt source. At that time I am going to short circuit the 4 volt energy source. Here I have short circuited the 4 volt energy source. Now I am going to give name to this current flowing through branch AB as IAB double dash, and the direction is again downward. Now I have assumed this direction, it is in downward. Now as this 6 volt current source is present, the total current will flow through this 3 ohm resistance, and at this point the current gets divided into two parts. Now the one will flow through 2 ohm and other will flow through the 10 ohm. That is nothing but now the 2 ohm and 10 ohm are in parallel. Okay, so as again we are going to apply the same logic. We are going to use the current division rule only, because here the current gets divided. So by applying current division rule, we can easily get the value of IAB double dash. But for that we have to find out this total current flowing through the circuit. So the total current flowing through the circuit, for that first of all we are going to find out equivalent resistance of the circuit. So equivalent resistance over here is 10 parallel to 2, and it is in series with 3 ohm. So after getting the total current in the circuit, apply Ohm's law. So according to Ohm's law, the total current will be 6 upon 3 plus 1.667. So it is 1.2857 ampere. Now using current division rule, it is total current multiplied by resistance of parallel branch resistance of the parallel branch resistance divided by sum of the two resistances. So IT multiplied by 2 upon 2 plus 10, and the answer is 0.21428 ampere, and we have already decided direction, it is in downward. So as both are in same direction, we are going to add that that current. So IAB dash plus IAB double dash will be the total current flowing through 10 ohm resistance. So it is 0.42857 ampere, and the direction is downward. Okay, now we'll move towards the Thevenin theorem. So whenever we consider Thevenin theorem, this Thevenin theorem is mainly used to reduce the complex circuits into a simpler one, and it is very much useful in finding the current in particular branch of the network. Okay, so if any complicated network is there, first of all we are going to convert it into simpler one, and then we are going to find out current flowing through any of the branch of the network. So here the statement of the Thevenin theorem is that only, so any network containing active or passive element and one or more dependent or independent voltage or current sources can be replaced by an equivalent network containing a voltage source, that is nothing but VTH, and a series resistance RTH. This is Thevenin equivalent resistance and Thevenin equivalent voltage source. So first of all, for the explanation, we'll consider one network. That network is having voltage source also and current source also, and the resistances are present, and we have to find out the current flowing through this branch AB. So we'll consider the current, the resistance which is present in that branch as the load resistance RL. So whenever we are solving this Thevenin theorem, the very first step is we are going to remove the branch resistance through which it is to be calculated. So we have to find out the current which is flowing through RL. So we are going to remove that RL. Now the next step is we are going to calculate voltage across this open circuit terminal. Okay, these are the open circuit terminals, and hence we have to find out the voltage across it. It will be VTH, and by using network simplification technique we can easily find out this VTH. So this is the next step. Now step 2 is we have to find out RTH. Now how we'll get this RTH? For that we are going to replace all the energy sources in the network with their internal resistances. But if the internal resistances are not given, then we are going to apply the same logic as that of the superposition. We are going to replace the voltage source with short circuit and current source with open circuit. So here this is how we are going to replace the voltage source and current source, and we are going to apply all the series parallel combinations of the resistance, and then we are going to find out this equivalent resistance or Thevenin resistance RTH. And the last step is we are going to draw Thevenin equivalent circuit which contains this single voltage source and single resistance, and it is in series with a single resistance, and then we are going to attach or we are going to reconnect this load resistance to this VTH and RTH. Again it will be in series with RTH, and by applying Ohm's law we can easily find out the current flowing through load resistance. So IL, for the formula for IL will be VTH upon RTH plus RL. So this is how we are going to apply all the steps and find out the Thevenin equivalent voltage as well as Thevenin equivalent resistance, and after that we are going to find out the load current flowing through the load resistance. So to get an idea, we'll consider one example. Here is the example. In that we have to find out the current flowing through 8 ohm resistance. So here now our load resistance is 8 ohm. So very first step is, in this case, very first step is we are going to remove this load resistance and we are going to find out the voltage across this open circuit terminal. That voltage will be VTH. Okay, so after getting VTH, by using all the simplification technique, we'll see which simplification technique is applied over here. So in this case, see, in first loop the current is flowing through the first loop, and at this node the current gets divided into two parts. Now the current will flow through 10 and 5, but in this case the second terminal of this 10 ohm resistance is open circuited, and hence this 10 ohm branch is redundant branch. Okay, so and in redundant branch 0 ampere current will flow through that redundant branch. So the total current will flow through this branch only. Okay, and by applying the KVL, we can easily find out this total current in this loop. So for that, the very first case is we are going to give all the sign conventions. So by giving all the sign conventions, we can easily write the equation for KVL. So equation becomes minus 5i minus 5i plus 250 is equal to 0, and by simplifying this I am getting the value of I is equal to 25 ampere. Therefore the potential drop across this 5 ohm will be 5 into I. Okay, so as I am getting the value of I, it is 5 into 25, it is 125 volt. Now as I have to find out this VTH, okay, so I am going to trace the path from A to B. Now in that path the 10 ohm resistance is present, 5 ohm resistance is present, and 75 volt source is present, voltage source is present. So we are going to trace this path, and as the path is tracing from A to B, I am consider terminal A as a positive and terminal B as a negative one. So by getting these values, this is the potential drop across 5 ohm. I have already known the voltage source value, and the 0 volt will be there for this 10 ohm resistance. So the VTH will be equal to 125 plus 75. This plus 125 plus 75 is equal to 200 volt. See, I am considering A as a positive terminal and B as a negative terminal, and hence this VAB is equal to 125 plus 75. Now the next step is calculate RTH. For that I am going to replace the voltage source, both the voltage source, with short circuit. Okay, here, and the load resistance is removed only. Now in this case, see, this 5 ohm and 5 ohm both are in parallel, and the answer will be in series with 10 ohm resistance. So by doing all these calculations, simplification, I can get the value of RTH. RTH is equal to 10 plus 2.5, it is 12.5 ohm. Now as I have the value of VTH and RTH, I can easily draw Thevenin equivalent circuit. So Thevenin equivalent circuit is with single voltage source, single resistance, Thevenin resistance, and it is in series with the load resistance. Now again reconnect this load resistance to get load current flowing through RL. So how the formula, apply this formula, IL is equal to VTH upon RTH plus RL. Now by applying this formula, I am getting the value as 9.7561 ampere, and the direction is downward. So this is how we can easily find out the load current flowing through any branch. Okay, here I am considering 8 ohm branch. So this is the load resistance. So you can easily find out the current flowing through the branch by using Thevenin theorem. So this is all about superposition and Thevenin theorem. Thank you.